see that we have a 1080 correlation when we come to the prime meridian, which seems to be disappearing. We see 1080 nautical mile correlation from point to point. If we go to this point, we see that 1080 nautical mile. And then if we come to Jerusalem, or I'm sorry, Amman. So Malta is a representation of the central axis of this pyramid, which is, I believe, to be a representation of the sacred feminine. When we analyze the sacred feminine and the Venus statues that are found all over Europe, Asia, and on Malta, we see that there was clearly this feminine worship, and we even refer to these statues as Venus statues. But the main Venus statue that I find interesting is this giant life-size Venus statue that has actually been cut in half and was a major representation of the sacred feminine, indicating that Malta was the primary location. Here we can see an image of the Silver Gate, which we find on Malta, and that is where man is born onto the planet, where life is born onto the planet, meaning that is the feminine, being that the female gives birth to life. And the Golden Gate, we can see the sun sets over and is the representation of going on into the afterlife. If we look at this point of crossing at the time of the Sumerians, here we're about 4500 BC, we'll notice that at this point in time, we are at the point of the spring equinox. Now, at this point, this is when people would begin to notice life coming about. This would be the entrance of life into the world. This would be the Silver Gate. Now, if we go forward into the Golden Gate, that is the opposite point of intersection between the galactic and ecliptic planes. This is the point of autumn in 4500 BC. This is when everything began to die and began to leave this world. And so just as the sun would set in the west and the sun would begin to die in the solstice, it always came back, but they believed there was some sort of cyclical nature and that life was leaving the planet and that it was going to another world, another heaven.